Do you remember the last morning you woke up and your body just moved? No 30 seconds of standing still, waiting for your knees to decide whether they were going to cooperate today. If you're watching this video, that morning was probably a while ago. Joint pain after 60 is one of the most common and most quietly debilitating things older adults deal with, and most of you are doing something about it. You are taking turmeric, buying the capsules, the tablets, the powders, and not getting the results as expected yet. Here's what nobody told you. The problem isn't turmeric, it works. It is the way most people are taking it. Means your body is absorbing almost none of the active compound that actually fights inflammation. It goes in, it goes straight back out, and the joint pain stays exactly where it was. But here's what 5,000 years of traditional wisdom, and now modern science already knows. There is a way to take turmeric that changes everything. It takes 4 minutes to make, it costs almost nothing. It uses 3 ingredients your kitchen probably already has, and by the end of this video, you're going to have the exact recipe, a recipe that ancient healers used, long before laboratories existed to explain why it worked. Stay with us, because the science behind what we're about to share is remarkable, and the simplicity of it might surprise you. Before we get to the recipe, we need to talk about what's actually happening in your joints, because understanding the problem is what makes the solution make sense. Osteoarthritis is the most common form of joint disease in older adults, and at its core, it is an inflammation problem. Your joint cartilage, the smooth, cushioning tissue that allows your bones to glide past each other, begins to break down over time. Think of it like the oil in a car engine. When the oil is healthy and present, the engine runs smoothly. When it degrades, friction builds, heat builds, and eventually, things start to wear down in ways that cause real pain. Chronic inflammation is the rust in that engine. It's the body's own repair system stuck in overdrive, continuously sending inflammatory signals to joints that are already struggling. And for millions of older Americans, that process is happening every single day, every morning, in every step. Now here's where turmeric enters the picture, and this part is important because we want to be clear about what the research actually says. Curcumin, the active compound inside turmeric, the thing that gives it that deep golden color, has been studied extensively for its anti-inflammatory properties. In a 2022 review of 29 randomized clinical trials, involving nearly 2,400 arthritis patients across 5 different types of arthritis, participants who received curcumin or turmeric extract experienced meaningfully lower levels of inflammation and pain. What the research supports is this: curcumin is a well-studied, evidence-backed, natural anti-inflammatory that, when used correctly, can meaningfully support joint comfort in older adults. That last part is the whole point of this video, because most people aren't using it correctly, and the supplement industry has made billions of dollars on the fact that most people don't know why. Let's talk about what happens when you swallow a standard turmeric capsule. The moment curcumin enters your digestive system, your liver and intestinal wall begin breaking it down almost immediately. Enzymes attack it. The body tags it for elimination. It undergoes a process called glucuronidation, which essentially marks the curcumin molecule for rapid removal from the body. The result? A large review published in the National Institutes of Health's own database confirms that curcumin has been shown to have very poor bioavailability, with many studies showing very low, or even undetectable concentrations in the blood after a standard oral dose. The majority of oral curcumin is excreted before it ever meaningfully enters the bloodstream. In plain language, most of what's in that capsule goes straight through you. Now here's where the science takes a remarkable turn, and this is the part of the video we want you to pay close attention to. In 1998, researchers at St. John's Medical College in Bangalore published a study in the peer-reviewed journal Planta Medica that changed how the scientific community thinks about turmeric. They gave human volunteers 2 grams of curcumin and measured how much actually made it into their bloodstream. The answer was almost nothing. Serum levels were either undetectable or so low they barely registered. Then they added one thing: 20 milligrams of piperine, the active compound in ordinary black pepper, the compound that gives black pepper its sharpness, its heat, its bite. And the result was extraordinary. Curcumin bioavailability increased by 2,000% at 45 minutes after taking the combination. Blood concentrations of curcumin rose dramatically compared to curcumin taken alone. No adverse effects were observed. 2,000%. From a pinch of black pepper, you should never take turmeric without black pepper. Ancient healers had this combination figured out 5,000 years before a laboratory measured it. They didn't have gas chromatography. They didn't have randomized controlled trials. They had generations of careful observation and the accumulated wisdom of people paying close attention to what actually helped, and they were right. There's one more piece to the absorption puzzle, and it connects directly to why the traditional recipe works as well as it does. Curcumin is fat-soluble. Think of it like vitamins A, D, E, and K. The fat-soluble vitamins that your body cannot absorb without fat present. You wouldn't take those on an empty stomach with a glass of water, and the same logic applies here. When turmeric is taken with a healthy fat, ghee, coconut oil, or full-fat milk, the curcumin can bypass some of the liver's elimination process and enter the bloodstream through the lymphatic system. Traditional preparations always included fat, not because ancient healers understood lymphatic transport, but because they knew it worked better. Research confirms that consuming curcumin with fat improves absorption. Now, the recipe. This is what 5,000 years of traditional wisdom looks like in a modern kitchen. 4 ingredients, 4 minutes, no special equipment, no prescription. Step 1. The base, pour 1 cup of milk into a small saucepan. Dairy milk works beautifully. Almond milk and coconut milk work equally well for those who prefer plant-based options. Full-fat versions support absorption better than low-fat. For the reason we just discussed, warm it gently over low heat. Do not bring it to a boil. Extended high heat can reduce curcumin content, and gentle warming is both the traditional approach and the scientifically sensible one. Step 2. The golden ratio. Add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Then add a pinch of freshly ground black pepper, approximately 1/16 of a teaspoon. Whisk them in as the milk warms. Watch the milk turn gold. Step 3. The fat activator. Add half a teaspoon of ghee or virgin coconut oil. Whisk it in as it melts. This is the step most modern turmeric recipes skip. It's also the step that traditional Ayurvedic preparation never omitted. Now we know why. Step 4. The finishing touch. This step is optional, but it makes the drink something you'll actually look forward to every evening. A small dash of cinnamon, and if you'd like a little sweetness, a small amount of honey. Add honey only after you've removed the drink from the heat. Honey added to boiling liquid loses many of its beneficial properties. Remove from heat first, then stir in the honey. 4 ingredients, just 4 minutes. No expensive bottle with a label you can't read. No capsule that dissolves before it delivers anything useful. This is what simple looked like before the supplement industry told us simple wasn't enough. Now let's talk about when to drink it and why the timing matters. Traditional Ayurvedic practice recommends golden milk in the evening, approximately 1 hour before bed, and there is good practical reasoning behind this, both ancient and modern. The warm liquid promotes relaxation. It signals the body that the day is winding down. The mild natural sedative properties of warm milk support sleep onset, and critically, the anti-inflammatory compounds in turmeric begin working on the joints during the hours of rest and repair that follow. Remember that morning stiffness, the frozen knees. That stiffness is partly driven by inflammatory processes that build overnight, when the body is still. Drinking golden milk an hour before bed puts curcumin into your system during precisely the window, when it can work on what happens while you sleep. Consistency matters more than perfection. Research on curcumin's anti-inflammatory effects consistently shows that the benefits build gradually over time. Some people notice improvement within 4 weeks of daily use. The full effect develops over 8 to 12 weeks of consistent daily consumption. This is not a pill you take for 3 days and expect miracles. This is a daily ritual, a quiet, warm, 4-minute routine that your body builds on over weeks and months. And here is what we want you to sit with for a moment. Your grandparents and great-grandparents did not take a supplement and expect results by Thursday. They built remedies into their routines every evening without thinking about it, not as a health strategy, just as the way things were done. That rhythm, the quiet, consistent, daily ritual, is the prescription, and it always was. Before we give you your action plan, there is one safety point we must address directly. Turmeric has a mild blood-thinning effect, and for older adults on certain medications, this is not a small thing. If you take warfarin, also known as Coumadin, if you take Eliquis, Xarelto, Plavix, or even a daily low-dose aspirin for heart health, please talk to your doctor or pharmacist before starting turmeric in any concentrated form. Here is the important distinction. The amount of turmeric in golden milk, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder in 1 cup of warm milk, is a culinary dose. It is generally considered safe for most people. The serious interaction risk is primarily associated with high-dose concentrated curcumin supplements, not with turmeric used in food or food-style preparations like this recipe. But if you are on blood thinners, one conversation with your doctor before starting is non-negotiable. This is one of those moments where ancient wisdom and modern medicine need to talk to each other, and your doctor is the right person to facilitate that conversation. Here is your action plan, 5 steps starting tonight. Step 1. Stop taking plain turmeric capsules without black pepper. If your current supplement doesn't list piperine or black pepper extract on the label, you are absorbing almost none of what you're paying for. Check the label today. Step 2. Make golden milk tonight. 1 cup of warm milk, half a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, half a teaspoon of ghee or coconut oil, optional dash of cinnamon and honey after removing from heat. 4 minutes, that's it. Step 3. Drink it in the evening, 1 hour before bed. Let it become a routine, not a chore. The ritual is part of the medicine. Step 4. Give it time. 8 to 12 weeks of daily consistency is where the research shows meaningful results. This is not a 3-day experiment. It is a daily practice. Step 5. If you are on blood thinners or any prescription medication for inflammation or pain, talk to your doctor first. 1 conversation. Then enjoy your golden milk with confidence. 5,000 years ago, someone discovered that a golden spice mixed with a pinch of pepper and a spoonful of fat made the body feel better. They didn't know about curcumin. They didn't know about piperine. They just knew it worked. Modern science spent decades and millions of research dollars figuring out why, and the answer it arrived at was the same recipe, the same 4 ingredients, the same evening ritual. The wisdom was always there, in ancient kitchens, in the hands of people who paid close attention to what their bodies needed. Simple, affordable, available to everyone. And it still is. If this kind of content matters to you, real research, honest framing, and practical wisdom without the supplement industry noise, we'd be grateful if you'd subscribe to this channel. Every video we make is built on the same foundation, and we'd love to have you here for the next one. Have you ever tried golden milk? Tell us in the comments below, and if you have a family recipe that uses turmeric, we'd genuinely love to hear it. This video is for informational purposes only and is not medical advice. Please consult your doctor before making any changes to your diet, supplement routine, or lifestyle, especially if you are on prescription medications.